Hey guys, it's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another Black History slash low rated movies month. And now we're getting to a 2009 action sci fi thriller from, the studios that did Transformers, made by Hasbro. And yes, it's what you think it is. It's not Transformers because I've already ranted on all the films of the Michael Bay era, which will end this year. But this is one of the lesser. This is the lesser of the transform of the Hasbro whatchamacallit franchises. G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra. Yeah, I just recently bought this on DVD at a pawn shop at a thrift store, and it was $3. So I'm like, why not? It's the two discs. It's not much for features though. There's only a commentary on the DVD and the two making of on this too, but that's about it. I would like a documentary on this movie because guess what? I don't hate this movie. I know a lot of critics hated this movie. It got a low rating on Rotten Tomatoes. They called it one of the stupidest movies of 2009. I will say that this is better than any of the Transformers movies that Michael Bay has made. It's much shorter. They have a better cast for the most part. The film is a lot more fun. I had fun in the theater, even though I had a mishap with my PSP that it got damaged, but that's another story for another day. And compared to the first Transformers movie, I had more fun with this than the first Transformers movie and any of the sequels, including Last Night, which I'm not going to see this year. Don't ask me for a review. I will not review Transformers 5. Hell no. But this movie, I like this film. I just bought it. I didn't want to show you guys until next month, but whatever. I've showed a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays. I have a lot of stuff to show next week. But this is a fun movie. I like Channing Tatum in the movie. I like that Steven Summers directed this film. I could see the action sequences when they're there. I love the mech suits in the middle of the film where they're running in the city. Those are awesome. They look like the Halo suits from Halo. I don't mind Marlon Wayans in the film as Ripcord. He's decent. I like Snake Eyes is a badass. He has a great scene with Storm Shadow at the end of the film. It's a great fight scene for PG-13. And the guy that plays him is Darth Maul himself, Ray Parker, I think. Yeah, right. Really good actor. I like him as Darth Maul. He's really intimidating. Good martial artist. You also have Christopher Eccleston as Destro. He sounds Scottish for some reason. It's weird, but he's fine. Joseph Gordon-Levitt as the villain as Cobra. Basically the Doctor before he becomes Cobra. I like him as an actor. He's really good. And the makeup that they put on him. I will say this: this is a better movie than Suicide Squad. There, I said it. I don't hear a thing. Yeah, better movie. This movie was. I can see what was going on. It has better effects. It got a better cast. I like the girl here. The girl that plays Scarlet. I like her. She's Rachel Nichols. I think she's a nice breath of fresh air. She's beautiful. I like her hair. I like her face, and she has a decent chemistry with Marlon Wayans. Dennis Quaid was fun in the film. I like the cameo from Brendan Fraser because he worked with Steven Summers on the Mummy films in the first two films. And this was Channing Tatum's first big film after he did Step Up. So it was his rise to fame. It started his career to jump, and then back by the 2010s, he improved. He won a lot of people over. 21 Jump Street was a really funny movie and really good action. I like Magic Mike, yeah, and I'm not gay. And I thought that movie had a really good story, and his acting was good. And I like White House Down. He was fun in that. Always good to see Channing Tatum. And he has a gorgeous wife, Jenna Dewan Tatum. But I do have some problems with this film. One is the freaking girl that plays not Black Widow. She wishes she was Black Widow. The Baroness, god awful. This is one of the worst performances I've ever seen in any action movie. Her delivery is flat. She's not attractive to me. I like the suit, but they didn't get the act. She doesn't have the accent from the cartoon. I saw this cartoon when I was a kid. I had the toys. I watched the animated movie from the 80s. This was my jam. I had more fun with G.I. Joe when I was a kid than Transformers. I had more of the toys. And she is not the Baroness. I'm sorry. Thank God that we got that beautiful girl as Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, because she made me forget about the Baroness as soon as I saw her in Iron Man 2 and then in the Avengers. This girl cannot act. I'm sorry. Sienna Miller, I'm sorry. She's terrible in this movie. And the fact that she turns into a good guy at the end and kisses Duke, and I'm like, kiss my ass, freaking Sienna Miller. You are not a good actress. I don't know what people ever saw in you. Thank God that you don't do any big really mainstream stuff anymore because you're useless. You cannot act. You almost ruined this movie for me. Even when I saw it in the theater, I'm like, the Baroness can kiss my ass. No accent, no screen presence, nothing. Hell, Cobra and Destro, they were really, really at the end of the film, and they had more screen presence than that freaking girl. I'm sorry. She won a Razzie for this, and she deserved it because she's terrible in the movie. I thought she gave the worst performance of all the actors in the film, and there's a reason that she's not on the cover of this two disc because she's shit. There, I said it because I hate that. I don't like that actress. I didn't see Layer Cake. I don't like her dramas that she's done. I don't give a damn about. I will see American Sniper, but not for her, for Bradley Cooper, because his acting is superior over anything that Sienna Miller's done. She's terrible, man. Freaking horrible. That's what happens when you cast a freaking Brit or a woman that was raised in England to be in your freaking action movie. Yeah. Does that sound familiar, folks? Does that sound familiar? Yeah. British actresses or actresses American that go to England that get the accent don't belong in these kinds of movies. You have a stellar cast right there. You don't need a freaking Brit to be in it. Yeah, I know Parker is also. Is it Ray Parker or is it? Yeah, I think it is. And he whatchamacallit, I lost a train of thought. He was awesome as Snake Eyes. He doesn't have to say anything, and his fight scenes are cool. Sienna Miller, I didn't buy her in the action scenes. They use a lot of CGI when she's shooting the guns, and I don't buy her at all. It's like when they put Zoe Saldana in The Losers. I didn't buy her in that either. But anyway, back to the film. The film is a lot of fun, though. I saw this with my mom a couple months ago. I said, you know what? I remember this from 2009, and it's fun. It's not deep. It's not going to win awards, but the plot didn't bother me. It followed the show to a T. Let's face it, the show was dumb. The cartoon, I loved it as a kid, but it had Cobra Commander was so over the top, and the characters were, they were cartoonish, which because it was a cartoon, and it was silly. And so was this movie, but it's fun. It has good action sequences. It has a decent cast besides Sienna Miller, who is ass, and I will never let that go. She's terrible in the movie. I like the premise of the film. I like that it had darker suits, like kind of like the first X-Men, but it wasn't dark and dreary. It's not Christopher Nolan. That's not what this movie is. Steven Sommers I like as a director. He's made some decent stuff. I like the first Mummy. I like Deep Rising. I like whatchamacallit, what else he did? He did the second Mummy, but I'm very mixed on that. I got to see that again. But he's a fun director. He's not like Michael Bay, where everything is an explosion and it makes no sense. The sets are good, the locations, the cinematography is really good at times. For an action movie, it looks really good. The running time is, I'm mixed on it because it says 117 minutes. It's about 2 hours. And if you took Sienna Miller out or you recasted the Baroness, that would have made the movie a lot shorter. And no, it's Ray Park, not Ray Parker. What am I saying? Ray Park, not Ray Parker. I'm an idiot. But anyway, I like this movie. I know my friend Sean is a big fan of this one. He hates Retaliation. I have a poster of it uh, right there because I thought that, it did some improvements. It's not a classic, but I do like the film. It's a guilty pleasure. It's not the worst thing ever. And but in the first film has a better cast. I would say that for the most part. The second film, I like The Rock, and I like Adrienne Palicki as the girl in that, and she's a breath of fresh air compared to Sienna Miller. I will review that next time because I don't own Retaliation, but I will one day. It's not the worst thing ever. I've seen the Transformers sequels are way worse, but this is a fun movie, and the critics should have been more lenient on it. It's just a fun popcorn movie. Shut your brain off, have some fun, watch the film for yourself. I put a sticker on the Baroness because that's how much I cared about her. Horrible actress, just freaking terrible. But anyway, the guy that plays Storm Shadow is fine. He's some Asian Korean actor. He was also in Red 2. He has some like an intimidating presence, like a Bruce Lee for this, in this film, and he does a good job. His fight scene with Snake Eyes is definitely the highlight of the film. It's a cool fight scene. And even though it's not a ton of blood because it's PG-13, but it worked for me as a GI Joe movie as in my adulthood. I couldn't have asked for more than this. At least it got made, so I'm happy about that. But screw Sienna Miller in this movie. I don't want to see her in any more action movies. Thank God she's in nothing now. I mean, she does like obscure movies that nobody watches, but Yeah, forget her. I just don't want her in another one of these films. If they ever do a third one or a reboot, I would love to see them team up with the Transformers, even if it was animated. Because I like these characters, Duke and Snake Eyes and Ripcord and the Roadblock and Scarlet and I like these characters. I grew up watching them when I was a kid, so watching a live action movie was pretty cool. So for what we got, despite its problems, it's still an entertaining movie, and it didn't deserve all the hate it got. It got way too much hate, and it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. And considering how long we waited for a G.I. Joe live action film, I mean, I was waiting since the 80s, and it came out like 20 years later, and it delivered. And at least it was a box office hit. So it's a lot. There's more good that the good outweighs the bad in this movie, and it lived up to my expectations at the time, and it's still a decent watch. So I can say that. But anyway, guys, that's my review for GI Joe: The Rise of Cobra. It's flawed, but it's fun for the parts that with this cast mostly, and the action sequences, and the score was pretty good. And Steven Summers is having fun. He's not phoning it in as a director, and that was what was missing in the sequel in some parts. And in all the Transformers sequels. Those were complete garbage. I was bored out of my mind. I was never bored with this, except the stupid scenes with Sienna Miller. Because, yeah, she's just another Daisy Ridley or Emily Blunt or freaking the girl from Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Does nothing for me. I'm sorry. You cannot fool me. You can't fool me because I'm American. I'm not gonna be full. I'm not gonna fall for the they have an American accent bullshit. No, it's not gonna work on me anymore. But this movie's it's fun. It's worth a watch. If you've never seen it, it's worth a watch if you like the cartoon. It's as dumb as that is, but it's fun. It's not like, oh my god, nothing happens for 2 hours. No, it has its merit. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, comments on this video. I hope you guys do check this movie out. It was worth the $3 because I remember waiting a while to get it on DVD because I just wanted to get the 2 discs because it doesn't have that awful disgrace of a character ruined by an actress that could not act her way out of a box. But I digress. It's a fun movie. Watch it. I'll see you guys in the next review. I'm going to do another review right now. It's just wait a bit. See you later.